underway at last.
When I see that you are both straight and ready, I will start you like this. Attention, go. Get ready, please.
How they've waited for those words. Jamie Kirkwood, the stroke of the Leander and Oxford Brookes crew, sits forward. He's closest to you. This is, in effect, a lightweight crew for the World Championships, non-Olympic events. I bet that came as a relief to both crews, Kath.
And probably a major shock to their physiological systems as well.
Certainly came as a relief to me. We can concentrate, finally, do some commentary on the rowing. And there's the umpire's launch following the two quads in the semi-final of the Queen Mother Challenge Cup for international quadruple sculls. Regatta's premier event for men's quadruple sculls.
Great start by both crews, very tidy, very sharp here in the Leander quad. Bit more power in the California boat. Let's see what happens as they transition now into their post-start rhythms.
So the power in the Cal boat, well, the Germans are fantastically experienced in that boat. You've got Lars Hartig in the stroke seats. Fantastic single sculler. Really confident enough to think he could challenge the selected German scull at the Lucerne Regatta. Look, they're really shoving it off at the finish.
Very high rate still in the California crew. They want to get out. They're saying we're going to race and get clear, and then we'll try and settle. I think they want to end this race as quickly as they can and use their power, which they're doing very effectively at the moment. The rate still looks very high to me in the California boat as they're trying to make sure they can get out and get clear.
Mike Cluffer in the California boat, he's the big man in the two-seat. I mean, what a powerhouse. He weighs in at nearly 16 stone, or 1 metre, 102 kilograms, that is, almost 2 metres. You can see the size of him.
Yeah, and that power's telling at the moment, isn't it? I mean, they stayed very high rate, but were able to get the power on, which shows that high level of skill. And the Leander crew just a little bit tense, I think, sensing they're behind, and unusually lower rating really out of that start.
These Leander and Oxford Brookes guys are real racers. They won't necessarily be fazed by the distance that the Cal crew have. Cal coming over towards the centre of the course. Expect the umpire John Hedger to get a little bit of work in this race, and well, he'll have his flag out. There it is, and he will give a warning to the Cal crew. Not sure who's steering it, probably Lars Hartig. Get out, he's saying, over towards your right-hand side. That really is a long way over, Kath.
No, I mean, it's quite, in my mind, a little bit late to warn them as well. We could see that they were starting to veer over, weren't we? Perhaps themselves, you would have expected them to be able to correct that, but they are now. They're correcting it now. I mean, it's always I think one of the hardest jobs, isn't it, steering a quad? It's the fastest coxless boat you have, and you know the speed is pretty high in these heavyweight quads, and then to be steering that.
Yeah, they haven't got it right again. They're almost tending to come over, and I think that steering correction has given the British boys, they're really street-rise fighters, these are. Jamie Kirkwood is such a fighter, and he was in the World Championships with Zach Lee Green in that quad last year. I think finished 4th behind the French quad, stroked by Pierre Houin, who's now in that double scull for Rio Olympics. But those two fighters, you've got Chaz Waite-Roberts in the middle of that boat, and of course Jamie Copas. Yeah, and they are coming back up, the Americans. You know, they've got great pace. Look at that, what a gutsy row.
They're doing brilliantly. They can sense it, and the Californians, again, they've come over too far, haven't they? They must be being warned. We can't see the umpire, but they look way over.
Go for the bump. That is in your water. They're going sprint. Jamie Kirkwood will know that. He'll be going mental. The Tyneside in the stroke seat, rowing for Leander Club. Absolutely flat out. If you've been waiting 20 minutes, this is a race worth waiting 20 minutes for, because the Americans from Cal have responded to that charge from the British, and they are holding the distance, probably about 2/3 of a length. You can see the drone is giving us that shot. There's the umpire's launch following the cruise. They've got about, what do you reckon, 700-800 metres to row?
Yeah, and the fantastic now. The lightweights are back in the race. They really had a disappointing start for me, but this is what we expect from a real bunch of aggressive racers, and they can sense it now. They've got momentum and are building. They've got to find a bit more. They haven't got their noses in front yet. Still a little bit down.
They've thrown the kitchen sink in. I can see Jamie Kirkwood's face. Look across by Zach Lee Green. He's giving the calls. The man with the Oxford Brookes top on in the bow. There's his back in the bow of the Leander and Oxford Brookes University. They've closed the gap. But, well, John Hedges got his flag out again. The Americans, maybe they're moving over, not quite encroaching.
And their steering has really cost them for sure in that California crew. And the Leander guys have steered a lovely straight course. It's much more efficient, as you so often get in lightweight ranks. Good and efficient. They still need another gear. They still need another gear if they're going to get their noses in front.
He's just given Leander a little warning. You could see the rudder being tweaked and just moving over, if that's Jamie steering. And they're getting the shouts. Leander and Oxford Brookes, loads of Oxford Brookes boys here. Of course, it's Leander's home club, but Cal have handled every single attack. But this race is not done yet. It's a close margin.
Now we're going to see, has anyone suffered from that long wait at the start? Was everybody's physiology ready to go? And what have they got? How much training have they got now in them? Because now, what are the gears? What gears are left? We saw extra power out of the start. How much are they going to pay for that in the California crew? They're going to be tested. These lightweights are going to go again. I can sense they're going to go again. They've got to put in their last push now to try get past.
Got to go now, got to go now. The lightweights, and he's warning the Cal crew. He's warning the Cal crew. Get over, he's saying. The rudder's coming on for the Cal crew on the right of your picture now. That's acting as a brake. That'll give the lightweights a chance, but they've thrown everything in earlier down the course. I'm looking ahead of me. There are about 30-35 strokes left. The steering for the Brookes and Leander crew is going off. The Cal crew, are they being warned? What an exciting race, Kath.
They're flat out. There's so much power being chucked in. It's a little rougher now in the Californian crew, but they are finding more power. They've been able to go up a gear. I think it's going to be enough. Fantastic race. They've really been tested in these last few, and I think they're going to have another go, the lightweights.
He's so
all
tough,
the way.
Jamie Coe. What a sprint finish. There you see Jamie Copas look round, but as they come to the finish, it is the Cal crew who'll put their bows across the line first. Brave race from Leander and Oxford Brookes, the lightweights. They will be gutted that they could not prevail. That was so much pain in that race, so much determination. Fists in the air from Pat Liebenweber and a white flag. No one's objected. It was a race and a half, wasn't it?
It was fantastic. I mean, you can see how absolutely spent they are in both crews. Fantastic race.